Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Meydan Racecourse here on Thursday. It is January the 12th, 2017. Gonna look at all the races from Meydan, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections from racetracks across the world. So let's get on to it. We have 8 races from Meydan on tonight's program. Race number 1 is the National Industrial Park Maiden Stakes. We have from Maidens here going for a purse of $45,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. We field 19 horses traveling 1,600 meters on the dirt course, 1 mile ahead of them. And my top pick in this spot will go to the 7-horse Mazid. Going to go 791, 791 in the TriCast or the trifecta. But my top pick, number 7, Mazid, 7-5. Christophe Simeon is on this thrill colt at Street Cry. He only has 2 starts under his belt. Both came here at Meydan, both in almost same exact conditions as today. Last time out, 1 mile, December the 29th, Meydan, in a maiden race, the same conditions as today. This horse finished second by 3 lengths, and he wasn't catching a winner who ran well, but had a decent second place finish. Was definitely second best. He should really improve off that start today, sitting a little bit closer to the pace. Something I have noticed Meydan on the dirt. You want to sit closer to the pace. Deep closures on the dirt do not do well. Turf course, yeah, but not dirt. But if this horse sits closer to the pace, I think this horse has to win. Start before you have to go to December the 15th, Meydan. 7 furlongs maiden race. Horse finished third by 6 lengths. And, really couldn't get into a good closing kick. It was his first start around. Really broke a little slow. It wasn't his day to win. So, he did improve second off of it. So, I'm going to use this horse here as a top pick. So, to recap my bets for race number 1 from Meydan's National Industrial Park Maiden Stakes, going to go with the 7-horse Mazid. Going to go 791 in the TriCast. So, now let's get on to race number 2. The second race is the Hamdad bin Mohammed Cruise Terminal Handicap. It's a handicap here going for a purse of $160,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses going the stayer's distance of 1 3/4. My top pick in the spot will go to the 2-horse Rembrandt van Rijn. I'm going to go 264 in the TriCast, but number 2 Rembrandt van Rijn, 6-1. Michael Barcelona is on this 6-year-old gelding. Last time out, the horse's first start in the in about, I don't know, in a long time since last March, came on December the 15th, Meydan on the dirt, mile and quarter enlisted stakes. Horse finished 9th by 20 lengths. Does not like dirt, so he didn't show up at all. He, just throw that race out. He wasn't himself that day on the dirt. He's a much better turf horse. Start before came at Abu Dhabi last March 20th to be exact. Mile 3/8 in the Group 3 Abu Dhabi Championship. Horse finished third by 1 3/4 lengths against a very tough field of horses. If you watch the replay, all replays for racing in the UAE are on YouTube, which is which is great. A lot of places in the world, a lot of racetracks in the world should really start posting like replays on YouTube, because I think it's a great thing. But if you watch the race that day, he was racing well, wasn't catching the winner, but it was a decent 3rd place finish against some very tough horses in that Group 3. Also, it was a horse's first start since August the 29th of 2015. Windsor Racecourse, mile and a quarter in the Group 3 Unibet Winter Hill Stakes. Horse finished 7th by 4 3/4 lengths. Really wasn't closing up that day. He jumped from the handicap to a Class 3, really to a Group 3. It wasn't his day to win, but start before he won 4 in a row before that, connecting the victory on April 25th, 2015 at Wolverhampton. Won that day going a mile and a half. Broke his maiden actually, and then he had a win streak up until August the 8th of 2015, winning at Haddock, going a mile and a quarter. One horse won by 2 lengths. A very good victory. He's increasing distance today, which I don't think should be a problem. He's back on a surface he really should like. He's second off the layoff. Watch out for this horse to run a really big one here today. So to recap my bets for race number 2 from Meydan, it is the Hamdan bin Mohammed Cruise Terminal Handicap. Going to go with the 2-horse here. I'm going to go 264 in the TriCast. So now let's get on to race number 3 from Meydan. The 3rd race is the Jafsa Handicap. It's basic handicap here, going for a purse of $60,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. field of 14 horses traveling the distance of ground of a mile and a quarter, 2,000 meters on the turf course. And remember, Meydan has a one-turn mile and a quarter, which is very nice. So just keep that in mind. It's not two turns; it's only one turn. My top pick in this third race, I'm gonna go to the 10-horse Town's History. I'm gonna go 10-3-9, 10-3-9. But number 10, Town History, 6-1. Richard Mullen is on this 4-year-old gelding at a hard spun. Last time out, December the 23rd at Jebel Ali Crosstown, 2,000 meters, mile and a quarter, and a handicap for horses rated. I can't get the rated number out because my iPad is freezing up, but it's just basic handicap. So horse finished fourth by 2 3/4 lengths that day behind Bluff. Bluff I actually have in my next race, but he held his own by finishing fourth. But he was on a racetrack where this horse doesn't really do well. I love betting horses from that don't do very well at Jebel Ali, and then bet them next start over at Meydan, because basically Jebel Ali, the final 2 furlongs or so is the run-in is uphill, so you just have to get the run-in. The run-in is very tough on horses. It was tough on him that day. I think on the back to his surface, he really does well on turf. This horse will really have a remarkable race. Start before it came December the 1st, actually, at Meydan, mile on the main track and a handicap. Horse finished 6 by 7.5 lengths. He needed the race. It wasn't his. He just definitely needed the race. Start before you on turf. You have to go. Start before anywhere. Came July the 16th, Ribbon, mile and a quarter handicap. Horse won by head and had a very good victory. I think if he runs back to that race today, this horse has it. So he faced some very tough horses last few starts. He wants to go back to the turf. He's on it today. 6-1. I'm going to take my chances with this one here today. So to recap my bets for race number 3 from Meydan, it's the Jafsa handicap. Going to go with the 10-horse Town History. Going to go 10-3-9, 10-3-9. So now let's get on to race number 4 from Meydan. The fourth race is the Meydan Hamraya handicap. It's handicap here going for a purse of $125,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 15 horses traveling 1 mile on the main track here at Meydan, 1,600 meters ahead of them. And I think my webcam is a little out of sync for a second, so let me just fix that. Sometimes when you go really close to it, it fixes itself up, but I guess not. This fourth race is a good one. My top pick in this spot, I'm going to go to the 6-horse Bluff. I'm going to go 6-1-3 in the TriCast or the trifecta wager. But number 6, Bluff, 10-1 with Hayes in the saddle. This horse was running cross town at Jebel Ali, his most recent starts. Last time out, December 23rd, Jebel Ali, mile and a quarter in handicap. Horse won by 2 1/4 lengths that day, beating my horse Town History from last race. He ran incredibly well. The uphill run for him was no problem. He just looked very well. Start before November 25th at Jebel Ali, mile and 8th in a basic handicap. Horse finished 5th by 5 1/4 lengths and really weakened that day. He just didn't look himself. Maybe it was a little bit too warm out for him that day. He's running at night, so the weather shouldn't be as warm. Just keep that in mind. That race on November 25th, he just didn't look himself. And then his first start of the Dubai season for this horse came on November 11th. Jebel Ali, 7 furlongs handicap. Horse finished second by 4 1/4 lengths. It was basically just a straight course, and he ran pretty well for the second place finish. By the look of it, you could understand this horse did need a race by looking at him that day, but it was a decent second place finish. His last one was very good. He's back to Meydan, where I think this horse should have a good run. He's won 3 times, back to a mile. Watch out for this horse to run a decent one. So to recap my bets for race number 4 from Meydan Racecourse, it's the Meydan Hamraya handicap. Going to go with the 6-horse Bluff. Going to go 6-1-3. 6-1-3. So now let's get on to race number 5 from Meydan, and my webcam is still out of whack. When you hold something up to close to the webcam, it puts it back in sync, but that's not working at the moment, so just gonna try this quick. Does it work? Nope. Okay, it's a little better now. This 5th race now from Meydan is Meydan Rashid handicap. Handicap here going for a purse of $125,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 20 horses. Only 16 can run, so 17 through 20 are reserves. Field of that many horses traveling a mile on the turf course, 1,600 meters. And my top pick in this spot, going to go to the 7-horse Silent Attack, the Godolphin horse. Going to go 7-10-2, 7-10-2. Number 7, Silent Attack, Godolphin owned, Saeed Ben Sora, trained, run by Pat Cosgrove. This horse, made a start last week here at Meydan. Mile 8th and a listed 6. Horse finished 6 by 6.25 lengths. He needed that race. He really didn't show up at all. He's coming back to a distance he does better at a mile today. Second off the layup. Watch it for this horse to run a really good one. Start before you have to go to Doncaster in the UK, October the 22nd, a conditions race. Horse finished 4th by 3.5 lengths, and really in the run, really didn't do that well. He just lacked a good closing kick. He just didn't quicken up with the rest of them. And start before in Turkey, September the 4th, in a Group 2 international top Kai Trophy Stakes. Horse finished second by a neck, and I couldn't find the replay on that race, so the horse just finished second by a neck, so I don't really know what he did. I'm sorry about that. But his most recent start before, finishing second by a neck that day must have been pretty good. But start before this horse ran July 9th, Newmarket, 1 mile in the handicap. Horse finished second by 1.25 lengths, and ran incredibly second that day. He was just he wasn't catching the winner, but it was a decent second place finish. And then start before June 23rd at Newmarket, a mile in the handicap. Horse won by 2 lengths, was much the best as a favorite, and just ran a very very good race. I think in the spot, second off the layoff, this horse should run well. He should run well. So to recap my bets for race number 5 from Meydan, it's the Meydan Racecourse handicap. Going to go with the 7-horse Silent Attack. Going to go 7-10-2, 7-10-2. So now let's get on to race number 6. The 6th race from Meydan it's a nice one. It's Dubai listed stakes, going for a purse $175,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses, traveling 6 furlongs, 3/4 of a mile, 1,200 meters on the dirt course. And my top pick in the spot, I'm going to go to the 6-horse, number 6, and hopefully I say this right, Ronaldo the Wizard. That was good. I think I pronounced that correctly. The 6-horse Ronaldo the Wizard. Gonna go 6-4-1 in the TriCast, or the trifecta. But number 6, Ronaldo the Wizard, 11-year-old gelding out of Spicetown. He's been around the block quite a few times. Richard Mellon is on this Zebel Racing International Corp owned horse. He hasn't started since the Dubai World Cup night last year. March 26th, Meydan, 6 furlongs in the Golden Shaheen. Horse finished 4th by 4 3/4 lengths behind Murab. Behind the winner, who's running back in this race today. He wasn't catching him that day. It was a little bit farther back. The course was playing towards front runners that day, so he just really couldn't keep up with them. Start before February the 11th at Meydan, 6 furlongs in the Group 3 Shindaga Sprint. Horse finished 3rd by 3.5 lengths behind Rich Tapestry. It was closing up a tiny bit, but a little bit too late. Just didn't have enough in the running. And then the listed 6, January 14th, same race as today. Ran it last year at Meydan. Horse won by 2 3/4 lengths, his last victory. He ran incredibly well at 3.5-1. I think this horse should run well here today. He if you go back, he did win the Golden Shaheen in 2013 on World Cup night. He won by a neck and ran incredibly well. That was on the Tapeta. We are on dirt today, but he had some light success on the dirt. I think this horse can maybe beat the 3-horse, or excuse me, could beat the 4-horse, who's going to get bet to the ground, I believe, in the North American tote pools. So I'm going to take my chances with Ronaldo the Wizard. So to recap my bets, race number 6 from Meydan, it's Dubai listed stakes. Going to go with the 6-horse. Going to go 6-4-1, 6-4-1 in the TriCast, or the trifecta. We're going to try and make my camera get back into focus by holding up my hand. Does it work? Maybe? No? What? No, it's still out of focus. Or still out of, still a lag on it, but sorry about that. Can't fix that. But 7th race now from Meydan is the Jebel Ali Port handicap. It's handicap here, going for a purse $135,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. field of 16 horses dashing the 6 furlongs on the turf course, 1,200 meters ahead of them, and I love these straight 6 furlong races. Brings me back to, well, if it was on dirt, brings me back to Nat Al Shiva, but this one's a good one. The Jebel Ali Port handicap. Last few years, I just remember this race coming up very good. But my top pick in this year's running, I'm going to go to the 6 horse Soul Power. I'm going to go 6-2. 6-2-16 in the TriCast of the trifecta, but number 6 Soul Power, 10-year-old gelding here. Pat Smullen's on this one. His most recent start came October the 1st at Ascot, 5 furlongs in the listed stakes. Horse finished 5th by 3 lengths at 3-1. Wasn't closing at all that day. Wasn't catching the winner. And to be frank, Easy Road, who won that day, ran much the better race. This horse, after that race, they took this horse to the sideline, and I think with the layoff, this horse do well. He had a very tough campaign last year. Start before Kirk in Ireland, September 11th, 5 furlongs in Darrenstown stud, flying 5 stakes. Horse finished 7th by 3 3/4 lengths behind Ardhami and Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is a very good Aidan O'Brien horse. This horse just wasn't catching him that day. Against a lot better, really didn't run at all. And then at York, August the 19th, 5 furlongs in the Group 1 Coolmore Nunthorpe Stakes. Horse finished 8th by 5.5 lengths. One of the best sprinting races in Europe. I think that Nunthorpe Stakes horse just, he beat half the field, but it was half the field. He just wasn't catching Mecca's Angel, and Lamato went on to have a very good end of the year. Mecca's Angel had a very good year in the UK. This horse just wasn't catching him that day. But I think at this spot, this horse should have a good run. His last decent race came in the Stud Sapphire Stakes at Kirk on July 16th. Horse finished 4th by 4 1/4 lengths behind Mecca's Angel. Wasn't catching Mecca's Angel, but he held his own. But I think in this spot, watch out for this horse to run a decent one. So to recap my bets, race number 7 from Meydan, it's Jebel Ali Port handicap. Gonna go with the 6 horse Soul Power. Gonna go 6-2-16. 6-2-16. So now let's get on to race number 8, the final race on today's program from Meydan. It's the Meydan Racecourse Marina handicap. Space handicap here, going for a purse of $175,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses going the mile and a quarter on the turf course. A lot of turf races on tonight's program. At my top pick in the spot, we'll go to the 2 horse, number 2, Sanshawis. Gonna go 2-7-12. 2-7-12, and number 2, Sanshawis, 7-2. Christophe Soumillon is on this one. I have Christophe Soumillon to start the card, and I have Christophe Soumillon to end the card, so that's gonna be nice. Hopefully he gets the job done. But last start for the Sanshawis came last week here at Meydan, January the 5th, a mile and 1/8 in the listed stakes. Horse finished 4th by 5 1/4 lengths. It was his first start since last March. He needed the race. Really, he held his own for a 4th place finish, but he just needed the race. I think today he should have a better run. Start before Meydan, March 5th on preview night, Super Thursday or Super Saturday, whatever they call it now. In the Group 2 Dubai City Gold Stakes. Horse finished 5th by 12 lengths and wasn't catching Postpone and Darian, who ran much the best. Some very good horses, but he held his own for the 5th place finish. And then start before at Meydan, February the 18th, mile and a quarter in Dubai Millennium Stakes. Horse finished 4th by 3.5 lengths behind Treister, another very good horse. He was closing up a tiny bit, but closed up a little bit too late. If you look at the horses he's been facing his last few starts, they were much the better. I think, if you look at the horses he's facing the last few starts of 2016, they were much better. Last time out, he needed the race. But I think at this spot, with the race under his belt last week, he should have run a very bang-on race because he was facing so much tougher. His last victory came January 21st of 2016 here at Meydan, a mile and a quarter in handicap. He won by 3/4 length with Christophe Soumillon up that day. A very good victory. So he's a course and distance winner. I think he should have a good run here today, so I'm going to use him as a top pick. So to recap my bets for race number 8 from Meydan, the final race on today's program, it's the Meydan Racecourse Marina handicap. Going to go with the 2 horse Sanshawis. Going to go 2-7-12. 2-7-12 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.